Welcome to the Hub Challenge. Terry Egioma, stock trader extraordinaire. I am an investor. I'm an investor, trade and travel, and all that jazz. Shoulders out, lips popping, hair bussing. What's up, Terry?
Hey Karen, how you doing? And you know what? I changed my Instagram name. So I
Did
finally changed it to my name, Terry Gioma, because so many people were having trouble spelling I'm an investor. I was like, it's just I'm an investor, but then people wanted to be correct and say I am an investor. And I was like, no, I wasn't that proper when I wrote the Instagram name.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no apostrophes and stuff. I get it. I get it. But Terry Egioma is an easy name. It really is. And I'm glad that you are walking into your full self. How's that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right. So last time we talked, you were just coming from Seattle. You were just, out in them streets. You took a break. You came back. You had some losses. You actually did a live trade, which I thought was amazing. And I thank you for doing that because I had never seen you do this before. All right. So where are we now in the challenge?
Cool. So I'm going to show you where we left off before I took a break. So this is like basically where we are for the month of November. And then after I show you all that, I'll tell you where we are moving forward. So let's get started. Alrighty. So by week 8, we were up 132,006. I always say these things wrong. $132,640 before I took a break. And that looked like this. You guys can still see me, right? You can still see me, Karen, and the presentation?
Yes. Yes. It
Okay.
looks nice. Very peachy.
Thank you. I told you we're doing this whole new grown-up rebrand. So the rebrand is like this tangerine color and teal. It's beautiful. Uh, but just to give everyone the foundations again, because we haven't done this presentation in a while. So we started out with $300,000, and then the goal is that I was going to double that plus some to give $450,000 to the nonprofit, the Hub. And the nonprofit is, Karen, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Okay, all right. So I decided I was going to do a nonprofit media company to inspire and train journalists all over the diaspora, all throughout the diaspora, so that we can have our news through our lens told through our voices. So that's what the hub is.
Yes. And so our goal is we're trying to figure out a different way to raise capital for nonprofits. So many times we have to go and talk to different people and they give you the money. But we were thinking, well, what would happen if we had a pool of money and then started investing it? And then that was the way we raised capital for the nonprofit. So just so you guys know, this whole $300,000, it is my money. So if you're worried like, well, she's trading other people's money, no. What we did is we took some of the core sales from my trade and travel investing program and then used that as the foundation to start the pool. So this is my money. I'm trading my own money. And then my goal though is to give to the nonprofit $450,000. Now we started on
Just say thank you.
9.
Let me just
Oh,
say, I just want to have gratitude always in this moment. Thank you, Terry Ichioma. Appreciate
no problem. No problem. It's been fun. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, but it's been fun. The challenge started on August 20th, 2020.
you. No, September.
I
We
mean,
started in September. Yeah, we started in September.
September. That's right. 9/20 is September. We started in September. My bad. So the trading plan is that my goal was, because we started with 300,000, I try to make 1% of my cash amount a day. That's like a safe goal as a trader. You're not stretching too far, but you're also trying not to lose. So it averages out nicely when you're trying to go for a 1% goal of your cash amount. And then I'm trading both stocks and options. So that's what we're using. And then I'm a technical analysis trader. So I'm looking at charts to pick my trade. So I'm not very much one that's going to come on here and talk a lot about the fundamentals or their future revenue or goals. My goal is I'm looking at a chart to figure out shorter term day and swing trades, which means I can get in and out in a day or keep it longer, 2 weeks to a month if I want to. All right. And so this is where we were before I took a break. Now, I've kind of been on a break the last 4 weeks. I took a break 2 weeks before the election, and then we had 2 weeks after the election where I also was, I just didn't feel comfortable making big trades or big bets with this account. I was trading in my other accounts, full disclaimer. Oh, and disclaimer, everything we talk about today is for learning and educational purposes only. This is just for us to help you learn what trading is. I did take some trades in my other accounts, but I'll tell you the truth, like I knew that it was going to be risky to trade during elections, and it was. Between the election news, the vaccine news, we had this like tale of two cities going on. But in this account, we were a bit more safe because I took a break from trading this one. So here we go. So right before the break, we were up $132,640, and that was that ended on 10/19. So that was before my break, and so this is what that looked like. Week one, so and that's 44% up. So that you guys know, for all the people that are like, it's impossible to make money in trading. The only way to trade is to buy and hold and just make your 8 to 10% return a year. Well, within a month, we were actually up 44%. And this is what that looked like. So we started out with 300,000. Then that next week, I was up 326,000. Then we didn't make our $15,000 goal that week, but we still were up a bit. We were up to 334,000. Then we made some more money to 379,000. That next week, though, we came down a little bit. I had a bit of a loss. So we were at 379,000. We came down to 377,000. And then that very next week, right before I took a break, some of our unrealized losses came up and we had some profit. So we actually ended Monday, 10/19, at up $432,000. Now, the cool thing about that is that, so this is what that looked like. And it zooms in on the next slide, but I realize that it doesn't zoom in all the way. So I'm just going to show you all. So like these were the different gains. You see that first week we were up to 32,000, then 19,000, then we added 44,000, then we added 36,000 on the week of the 19th. That's what led us to the 432. And I didn't trade every day. Like after this 19th, that's when I said, you know what, we about to take a break. And praise God for that, because right after that, things started getting dicey with the election. See, it zooms in, but it skips our 19. So that's why I wanted to show you guys that. All right, so a couple takeaways. And actually, I'm going to come back to takeaways because I want to show you this last piece, and then we can go to takeaways. So where we are before the break was we were 29.5% to our goal and of donating the 450,000. We were up 54% in our account, but only 29% to our goal. And then I had to show you this. Like, this is why I felt like I felt good about taking the break. So if we did 15,000 a week, then 15,000 means that we were trying to make 60,000 a month. So that means that by end of October, our goal was to be up 60,000. And by end of November, our goal was to be up 120,000. We had already hit that goal in October. So for me, like, I could trade no more this month and we'd still be fine with our goal. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense.
So that's why I haven't been very pressed to like really trade this account, because we were already beating our goal and so many crazy things have been going on that it's like, you know what, we're going to hold that right there and then we're going to come back. But I will tell you that there are some things going on. But let me tell you these key takeaways before that. So I think one of the coolest things about trading is that it's a skill set. And sorry that I have something in my mouth. I'm trying to make sure I don't get sick. So this was a
lozenge.
Yeah. Here. I know that was so unprofessional, but I had to get it down. Okay.
Pause for a second. What is professional? Are you a pro at what you do? Yes. Are we human beings at home right now, zooming or in our home offices or whatever? Yes, this is a new world, and I think we need to extricate ourselves from the notion of what is professional and what is perfection and all of this other stuff. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not spitting at us, and even if I mean, you're in your space, spit away, Terry E. Jones, spit away.
I'm gonna just spit all over this computer right now. No, I'm just playing. um, okay, so it is down. Thank you guys for that moment. Um, so here's the thing. I love the fact that trading is a tool. And this is what I try to talk to my students about too. This is a skill set that you will have for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean that you have to use it every day. It's just the same way that if someone is a surgeon, if they're not at work, they don't have to use that skill. But if someone were sick, they could then jump in because they have the skill set. And that's how I feel with when we got to our goal on this account. I felt okay walking away because I knew, like, we've met our goal, we're doing good, and it's okay to take a break. So I went to Seattle. Karen told you guys I went and took a vacation in Seattle. I watched during the election. And yeah, I had some FOMO because after the election, it started running up, and I'm like, dang, I'm not in the trade. But then also after the election, a lot of those things fell again. So, you win some, you lose some. But the key is that you can use this whenever you want to. You don't have to be doing it every day. And I want people to understand that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is day trading versus swing trading. So this is where I'll tell you what I'm doing now for this account. So after I came back from vacation, I decided that I wanted to get into a couple swing trades. So we're in Amazon and we're in PayPal. And then we've been in and out of a couple other ones like Boeing and Tesla. So I'm actually in Boeing today, and Tesla, I was kind of in and out of it. In my other account, praise God, was able to ride that from like the 400 to 500 wave. And now that Tesla is going into the S&P, I'm looking to get back into it, but we'll see. But what's the difference between a day trade and a swing trade? A day trade is getting into an account or getting into a trade and getting out of that same trade in the same day. So a lot of the times on those calendars, you saw that I made gains each day. And that might have been that I got into the trade and got right out right away. But in the current account, I have some positions, and most of them are options positions, but they have further away expirations. So these are things that I can kind of sit on until they start working. Or even if they don't have a further expiration, it's not a day trade. I'm waiting for it to materialize. Does that make sense? So that's the difference between day and swing trade. So for us, like I said, we're in a couple positions now that are more swing trades, and we've been waiting on them. So I don't have a screenshot for today where we are, but Amazon had come down a bit. So we actually had some unrealized losses on it. It's not as down as it was last week when we talked, but it's still not where I want it to be. PayPal came up a bit, which I'm glad about, but in options, everything is about time value, and it's taken so long for PayPal to start acting right that that is not as great as I want it to be. So I'm now like being strategic about those positions. Am I going to hold it? Do I sell it but then get back in at a different price? Do I do it a different expiration date? So all those things are like strategic things that I'm thinking about on how to manage these positions. So I'll let you know, Karen, when we have like some real data to like give an update on, but those positions will be in for a little bit until they start doing what I really want them to do.
Okay.
And then the last thing, using the gains for bills. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is my philosophy on trading and retirement. When I first entered the financial space, the mindset was you use trading stocks to do your retirement. You get in, you buy and hold, and you kind of leave that in forever. And then you use real estate for your cash flow. You buy a house, you put some renters in it, and then you let those renters pay you cash every month. But I actually want to flip that on its head because that's what I do. I actually have some real estate that's my more retirement plan. I'm waiting for those pieces of property to appreciate down the road. I'm waiting for that area to develop. So that's going to be my my 30-year out plan. I'm like, wait, I'm not old enough yet to retire. So it'll be like my 30-year out plan with those real estate properties. And yeah, in the meantime, I might be bringing in some rental income, but I mean, many of you guys know with like COVID and different things going on, that rent is not busting a grape. It is helping just break even, right? Like make sure you don't have any problems. If the heater break, it pays for that. But the longer term play is what I'm looking at with real estate. And then the shorter term play for me is stocks. So I'm looking at like this gain. If I wasn't like trading it for the nonprofit, that $100,000 gain, like that's a full salary. Like I could have just taken that out and then used that to pay bills, to figure out what trip I want to take, to pay off student loans. So it's easy to take that money out of your account, and then you still have your base 300,000. So I want you guys to just get under that mindset. And maybe Karen, you and I can talk about that a little bit, but just the difference in that mindset.
No, I thought, when I first started learning about you, and folks, if you are looking at this, is this your first time ever watching Terry Egioma or me, hit the like button, first of all, subscribe, second of all, go to Trade and Travel and subscribe to Terry Egioma as well, to her channel, because her channel is amazing and she's doing so many great things. But go down a rabbit hole. This is not, I think this is our seventh or eighth discussion around investing in this company. And the reason why we're doing this is because, I didn't want to go to a VC and, then be wedded to somebody else's ideal of what it is that I should be doing, or I'm beholden to them in a different kind of way. So when we were talking about this and you had this epiphany, it was like, oh, why not trade for the things that you want now? And if everyone can get these skills, as we talk about quite frequently on my show and in this YouTube space, this life is about gathering as many tools as you can to build the best life that you want to live. Now, this may not be for everybody. I don't trade the way you do. I'm a buy and hold. I'm trading for the long term. I'm trading for dividends, which is a completely other thing that,
Yeah.
people don't talk about. Or they do. There's a whole dividend space that you can go down a rabbit hole on YouTube. But it just says, depending on your personality, your acumen, your time, there are many different ways to do this, right? And Terry's way works for Terry, and it could work for a whole host of other people. Maybe it doesn't work for you. That's fine. But the skills can still be applied across the board. So I'm just grateful that people are learning a new skill, that they're putting a new tool in their toolbox. And, for a lot of folks watching this is freedom. The freedom to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, like you said, 130 something $1,000 in 2 months. Yeah. Yeah. That is actually double the average salary in this country. That's like 3 or 4 times the average salary in this country is what you made in less than 2 months. So, or less than a month. Actually, you did that in a month.
Yeah, I did that in October.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if that's something, but I was telling somebody actually even today, they were like, I'm going to take Terry's. I need to learn options. I said, did you master the first course? And they were like, no. I was like, how about you master the first? Like, we always want to skip these steps, because that's where the real money is. Well,
Yeah.
the reason why Terry's able to make that real money is because she foundationally understands how to do trading on all fronts. Like, master this thing so that you
Yeah.
can do the options, the swing trade, the day trade. These are just, options that you have as a result of the work that you put in to build your foundation. So I just would
Yes.
suggest people build your foundation. We'll drop the link so you could take her classes. But
Yeah, we're doing a Black Friday sale too this
are
week,
you?
which is cool.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
tell us about it.
Actually, all the courses are 10% off, but it's just for Black Friday. So if you're watching this video and you're late, then I'm sorry for you. But if you if you're watching this during I think this is November, what am I? Yeah,
Thanksgiving
November
holiday.
23rd through the 27th, then check it out. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will say too, like I don't want to show you guys that it's all roses. Like, yes, for me in that the first month before our break, like my account was doing great. These positions I told you about, these swing positions, they are not as great. So I want you to know that like there will be losses, there will be ebbs and flows. It's about managing your account. Also, like one of my mentors told me before too, he's like, Terry, you are going to be a trader for the long run. You're going to be a trader for years. So even if you have a loss right now, then the thought is, okay, how do I strategically plan so that I can build the account back up over time? Like I could build it up by next year, by whatever. But yeah, like one of the things that I was a little hesitant about today was like, man, like I'm showing all gains, and people are going to think that like you get into the class and there's never a loss. And that's not true. There will be losses with the election. I was telling you guys last week, there's been this tale of two cities going on in the market right now. The vaccine companies were they had lost a lot earlier this year, and now they were kind of coming back up. And then other ones, the stay-at-home stocks were coming down, but now they're coming back up. So at any given time, your portfolio can look different. You just got to learn as much as you can so you can play defense during those times.
I love that. I love that message. Let's be constant students. Let's let's put ourselves in the I don't know, so but I can know. And just like let's know as much as we possibly can, and we can help each other, because how you see things with the knowledge that you have is different than how I may see things with the exact same knowledge. But together, now we have such a broader perspective and we can help each other kind of understand some things. So I also think people should uh, get into trading with somebody, like have a team, like build a team. And I love the investment clubs that are out there and all of the folks that are, part of your classroom as well, because the community is important. It's
It
important.
really is. And like man, they are killing it as a group though, because the thought is like, okay, if all of us know how to look at the same things that Terry teaches us, we all know how to look at charts and find the best prices. We all know how to look at at risk management and see if this is the right time to buy. Now, what do you do when you have 3,000 people looking for the same things, and they are really helping each other, like, and they're learning too. Like one person may say, you know what, I took Terry's strategy and then I tweaked it just a little bit and I'm doing this. And on our VIP calls lately, we've been having students come in and share like new tricks that they've been doing and tricks of the trade, and it's been really cool. So yes, having that community is also really powerful.
All right. So you can join, go to the description. The link
Yeah.
is there. And if you're watching this before Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
10% off on Black Friday only.
Yeah.
So this is a good time. And this could be a great Christmas, whatever that means, Christmas gift for yourself, to give yourself the gift of this knowledge to for yourself financially. I appreciate this.
And for your family. Like I had a company come to me recently, and then we'll jump off because I know I got to go trade anyway. But I had a family come to me recently, or a company come to me recently, and they said, how many of your students are teaching their kids? And we actually have a big group of students that they're learning, and then they're doing it with their son or daughter who's in middle school and high school, and those kids are now learning how to trade and making good money. So this is also a good gift for them. And what we realized is, like, pray for this, Karen, because I think this would be the coolest thing if it comes to fruition.
Write it
But
down.
for those parents that are teaching their kids, there might be some companies that come alongside and say, you know what, if your kid went through trade and travel, then we'll offer them an internship. And then some colleges too that say, you know what, if your kid finished this trade and travel course and has learned how to make $1,000 a day, we'll accept them into our business school. Isn't that cool?
I
So
love
like
that.
it's really revolutionary what can be done with something like this.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Touch and
Yeah.
agree. Yes, absolutely. Well, Terry, I look forward to what's going to happen next week, and I know you hit me with a text and I was like, whatever it is what it is. I mean, the transparency of this is important. I think we have, as Black people in particular, have had so much secrecy around money, around these things. Nothing, it shouldn't be a mystery. Everything should be laid bare for us to, cobble together the kind of future that we want. So, I'm grateful that you're being so transparent as well. And I'm happy to losses, wins, gains, whatever we get to in February, I'm happy with the whole process because so many more people are learning this. So thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, and I don't think people know, but yeah, that's the deadline. We're doing this for to be able to give the gift by Black History Month. So that's our goal. So we got time to kind of work our way, ebbs and flows, to get where we want to be.
All right. Well, go trade. Go make that money, girl. Go make that
Okay.
money, Terry Ijeoma. Love you. I love
Thank
you.
you. Love you too.